I have two things to show you today. There's a trend that's going on in the container gardening where you're composting directly in your boxes. And I'm also going to show you a new tool or a new toy that I purchased for gardening. And I'm not gardening without it anymore. Stick around. I'm going to show you both in just a second. This is the composter we're talking about. You bury it directly in your garden box. And what we're going to do, we're going to unscrew it. And we're going to add our food scraps directly inside. What's going to happen is the worms are going to go through these holes and they're going to eat all those food scraps. And then they're going to create worm castings and spread them throughout your box. That's going to create a lot of nutrients for all the roots for your plants, and it's going to create a lot of aeration also for those roots. It just helps build the soil and keeps everything growing really nice. It's also a set it and forget it system. So once you put your food scraps in there, the worms do all the work. And you can purchase worms for it, but if you already have worms in your soil, they should find those food scraps. But if you want to accelerate it, you can use red wigglers and add them in your soil someplace or in the composter itself. I also like to, because these are PVC, I don't want the sun to break it down, so I usually cover them up so the sun doesn't get them. And as you can see, we have beautiful peppers here growing, absolutely beautiful. The one thing you don't want to overlook is you want to have a good screw-on lid. The reason is you want to keep the animals out of your compost. It also traps any smells that might happen from your compost. So why are gardeners putting these composters in their boxes? Here's 5 good reasons. The first, you're feeding your plants right at the root zone. The second, there's no reason to turn a big compost pile. It's a set it and forget it system. In other words, you don't have to do any management to it. You just put the scraps in the composter and everything gets taken care of by itself. Also, the worms come and go naturally and take care of all the aeration of the soil. And my best, number 5, is there's no smell at all. Before I show you my new gardening tool, I just wanted to show you 2 varieties that I really like this year. You see, we've been having a lot of problems with bolting. Every year it seems to get a little warmer, and I even had daikon radishes this year that bolted and I never even got the radish. So these are 2 varieties that are really working well for us. See this little guy? He's the enemy. Get out of here. These are 2 varieties that are working really well for us. This right here is American spinach, and we've had really good success with it because it grows like crazy. This is a blue dwarf curled kale, and it doesn't look dwarf. I mean, I'm getting more kale than we can possibly even eat. It makes great kale chips, great stews. We've been blanching it and keeping it for proteins, you know, protein shakes, and it's just growing great and it's not bolting. So now that we know about that, I want to show you a brand new cool tool that I'm using in my garden. And here it is. This is my Hori knife. And don't be afraid. It's a very useful tool and it's very well built. As you can see, it has numbers on here so you can tell how deep you're planting. It has a line cutter. It has a weeder. And it also has a serrated edge and a sharp edge. And as you can see, it's a very well built knife. This is actually a very heavy knife. And I can tell you, I use this all the time when I'm planting in the garden now. I can't even imagine what I did before, because I used to have a shovel, I used to have a hoe, and all these other tools. And now, if I want to do a trench, I just drag this across and I have everything I need. So I'm going to put a link in the description for this knife or shovel, and I'm also going to put a link in the description for the composter. Now, if you do click on those links, I do want to be honest with you, I do collect a little commission from that, and it does help our channel, but it doesn't cost you anything more. So check out the description for both of these items, and I'll show you how we use it for harvesting. Here's a beautiful head of broccoli. We're just going to take that serrated edge and cut that right off. Beautiful.